DCA adventure is rated F for fucking awesome.
Yo, crypto nation and mining family. Oh, well, no, it's the FA family for Friday. Yo, I've been a little off today. My day has been so busy. I already see that Techman's already going what happened to me earlier in with my live stream. Yeah. Like you're like bored all morning, and then you're like, oh, I found something to do, and you get tied up in that, and then somebody else, then you have a friend that comes by, and then you lose absolute track of time, and then you're like, you're wrapping up with that project, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was supposed to happen over an hour ago. I guess I'm not live streaming today.
I have moments kind of like that when I'm at work, and I'll be, like in the middle of like doing some video editing for an ad or something, and like it's getting really good. Like sometimes I was doing a sample ad for a potential client that we were in talks with, and I was prompting Sora. Sora is a AI video generator, and what it put out looked like scenes from a horror film. And I'm just like, oh, this is too good. Because it was for weed abatement services, like brush control to keep the fires down and stuff like that. Especially here in California, that's a big thing. And so I just
but they're not going to spend any money on it over there. They've already proven that.
Yeah,
they care about a little fishy fish.
The landowners that actually have large fields or whatnot, they can actually receive notices from the fire department, and they could even put levies on the property if the weeds are not under control. So as far as
it's best to go
and
after the homeowners, the property owners, for something that happened in the park.
Well,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
totally.
Not the park. We're talking about like whoever owns the land surrounding neighborhoods. If the weeds are getting too damn tall, whoever owns the land needs to make sure
that's what I'm talking about. Like you like the Palisade fires started off in the woods.
The Palisades fires started because people were lighting the fires on purpose.
Right, in the woods, because there was
matter
brush.
Where they did it. They did it where they could and not get caught. And when there was a big enough panic, you had people actually going into the neighborhoods and lighting fires.
No, those were the helpers. That was all funded by USAID. Let's just be real.
Let's be real. California and parts of Arizona, insurance companies have dropped their fire coverage on their insurance.
Because they go broke.
Some homeowners might not freaking know about it.
Because they go
dropped
broke.
Their fire insurance, and guess what other places have plans for smart cities? Palisades and parts of Arizona. Gee, coincidence? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I see. I can connect lines, but I also look at Occam's razor. Whatever seems to be the simplest, easiest.
My coworker loves saying Occam's razor. Like, anytime something's happening, let's find the simplest solution.
Well, because like anything else, like you're basically trying to hopscotch onto, okay, well, then this person has to play in their part, then this person has to play their part on top of that, and then this person has to play their part on top. It's like there's too many layers that have to fit perfectly for some of this stuff.
You're absolutely right, and that's why they keep getting caught.
I don't really know if that's really getting caught, or are we looking at just overall complete negligence?
No, let's just talk about the tinfoil hat, mafia. All right, when Edward Snowden came out and said, "Look, here's all the shit," everybody that wore a tinfoil hat was like, "I fucking told you."
Well,
You
that
know,
was just with
and
the
it's
whole
because one of the
NSA
reasons
listening
because
on everything.
people are connecting the dots on multiple things because they have multiple characters.
But you're
doing
not.
multiple
But
things
you're
at the same
looking.
time.
But Occam's razor would.
And just like a mechanics, engine, just like an engine or a transmission, the more mechanical parts involved, the more points of failure.
So
The more points of failure.
Snowden basically made everybody go, aha, yes, I will give you that. But if you, at the same time, if you really look at it, all communications are all being done through government devices. The cell phones that we have might be made by, X company, right? And that's their phone, right? They're still utilizing 90% of the infrastructure that the governments around the world have put in place. You would be ignorant to sit there and think that you couldn't directly tie a straight line between your data and the government.
You're not wrong. Here's
but that's a straight line.
Supporting what you're saying. If you live in an HOA and you tell the HOA you want to get a chicken coop, and have some chickens, and they say no, you're like, okay, well, if you're not going to let me have, I was debating between having a chicken coop or having a radio tower. Since you're not going to let me have a chicken coop, I'll just put a radio tower in my yard. And they are not legally allowed to say no to a radio tower because it's federal communications. Which means the second you say, I'm going to put a radio tower in my backyard, they'll give you your chicken coop. I saw your comment, John, you made about HOA, so I was like, oh, let's connect these two topics.
HOAs just think that they're, like, above the law somehow.
Well, they think they are the law.
Right. It's quite funny.
So how was everybody's week?
Oh, I've been enjoying it. I mean, sitting there kicking back and watching all the White House stuff unfoil. Oh man,
I saw a nice compilation video.
I was enjoying today, among all things. Today of all things, we have a bit of it's like is this the mark of we're back in bull run mode, or are we going to just continue to drop out from here because the U.S. dollar is garbage? Or was Trump
think
going...
of the bull run that's going to happen when everybody gets their Doge tax-free pay.
See, but that's only $5,000. That was a know-nothing sandwich with all the COVID stuff, too.
Maybe. Put your $5,000 into Bitcoin or some other coin you think that's going to pop off.
You see, that's now you're putting two different things together. You see, true. The people who put their money in their COVID stimulus checks into Bitcoin, they got more Bitcoin over time, versus if everybody puts their money into Bitcoin, which nobody would. So you're not going to have that bull run just because Doge. Everybody got a bigger, fatter tax return. It's like, you gotta think, we're still kind of early into that crypto shit, so it's like there's only so many of us Bitcoiners out there really in the United States. We just buy a lot of Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin, buy it at cost, and hodl that shit.
Hell yeah, brother. But I was, as a Ukrainian, I'm just gonna fucking point it out there like this. As a fucking Ukrainian myself, 50% Ukrainian. My great grandfather fucking fought Russia, Soviet Russia, to free Ukraine from the grips of Russia. I don't think my great grandfather, if he was still 20 years old, I don't think he would fucking fight for Ukraine the way that he did back then. Because the country that he fought for does not exist. in any way, shape, or form. It has become a corrupt cesspool that the USAID has corrupted and installed Zelensky and put just kind of tracked Ukraine to being this shithole corrupt country.
Well, they put a puppet in power. That's what they did.
Oh yeah, 100% a CIA puppet. And now he's going to be getting the cold shoulder of the United States. Be like, the United States is no longer going to be funding this. You can either sit down.
Just said Trump told Zelensky off for not dressing properly for a presidential visit.
Oh yeah, it's like it's disrespectful. And not one time did he ever thank Trump or J.D. Vance for anything. Anything. And then he's sitting there whenever he was realizing that he wasn't going to get anything. Zelensky sat there, crossed his arms underneath himself, like that little 5-year-old's just about ready to have a temper tantrum, leans forward and goes, you will feel, or he said something along the lines of, you will feel the wrath of the outcome of Russia. And Trump he's like, don't tell us how we're going to feel. We're going to feel just fine. We're fine over here. That's not our problem. And then J.D. Vance just leans forward and just lays the smack down on him, dude. I was
what J.D. Vance say?
Oh my God, you gotta, you guys gotta watch it. I do this no justice, but he basically sat there and tells Zelensky, he's like, not one time have you thanked any of us for being here. You're disrespectful with how you're communicating with us. I mean, just kind of goes off on him just in that direction. It was just like, whoa. I didn't think that J.D. Vance would do that. And you just see Trump just sitting there just stewing over it. And Trump's just you're the only reason why you have any cards at the table is because the United States backs you up. When the United States doesn't back you up, you have no cards. And Zelensky is I don't know if he understood the translation on what that really means in American terminology. But he's playing a game, but it's a game that he's only got a chance because we gave him the right cards. And Zelensky's not understanding this, and he's like you're playing a game, and the only reason why you're able to play this game is because we back you. He's like, that's done. He's like, you either sit down at the, he's basically said, he's like, you either sit down at the negotiating table or you're going to fight this war on your own.
Yeah, no more billions going to Ukraine.
And and then fucking Trump gets on the tweet on the Truth Social and posts out a truth, and he basically in so many words said, he's like, Zelensky wants to carry on this war. He's like, then the talks are basically done, and whenever he feels that he wants to finally have peace, he will then be able to come back here and we'll negotiate. Because he had the Prime Minister of Canada, he had the Prime Minister of France, and there was 3 other countries that went down to Ukraine and told Ukraine that to keep going with the war. And that they would fund them. And then later on, Zelensky tweets out going, it's thanking Trump at this point. Going, now looking at wanting to do peace. Because I guarantee you one of his advisors came up to him and said, okay, these countries said that they're going to pledge this much. The war cost this much. We've got 6 months. I mean, fucking realistically, I mean, people don't understand the cost of fucking war. It will bankrupt any country. If you look at any country that actually engages in full-on war, they are bankrupt afterwards. Because it goes to a war machine that consumes. It doesn't produce. It's one thing for a government to invest into a market that's going to produce value. War produces no value. I mean, look at what happened right after World War II. Weimar Germany, the Deutsche Mark, hyperinflated right after World War II. Because they had printed so much cash that by the time that the war was done and everybody was like, "Oh, cool, I saved up all this money, we're good." Everybody starts going to buy something, and next thing you know, a basket full of apples was $50. And like a year ago, a basket of apples was 40 cents. Hyperinflation.
Yeah.
It's
the
fucking
pirates
real.
like, yep, toilet paper fiat.
Yep. And, it's like, is this bull run that we're seeing a result of us turning off the spigot? Is it a direct result of, the inflation slowing down that quickly?
Makes sense to me.
Right. Again, that Occam's razor. You can connect a straight line. I'm all about the simplest.
Hence the title. Ending war put BTC in a bull run?
Right? I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I can't say yes. I can't say no. I mean, we're only like just started kind of like rebounding. Is this like a little fake out? Is like a dead cat bounce where it like the cat hit the ground and it bounced and it's about to just roll over again and just keep on going. I mean, me and Chris, we know. I mean, any of the OGs out here, you might know too if you've been around the block. But after good bull runs, I mean, we have it. It's normal to get a fucking 80% pullback. Where's my fucking discount, bro? I need those cheap sats, guys.
I know, right? Jeez.
$100,000 sats is not cheap.
No, it's not.
I want to crush some souls, dude. Give me $1,000 Bitcoin. Them are some cheap sats. It's cheap sats. I mean, I haven't heard of any markets where they've been rolling over or like liquidations of shorts and longs. I haven't seen too much of that. So it's like we haven't felt like outright pain in the market.
Right.
But
the good news is, I mean, we have a little bit of a discount right now. I mean, Bitcoin's only like $84,000. $84,985.
I wanted to go down lower. Okay,
98.
I'm sitting on the sideline right now, completely out. I mean, I'm not out
I'm
of
still
crypto.
waiting for my 80%.
I'm not out of the crypto market, but I'm in stable coins for sure. and I'm going, oh, you can fucking go a little deeper, dude. I want to hear some people. Nobody's complaining yet. Fucking drop, dude.
I hear ya.
You know the one thing I have noticed though? People are selling computer equipment now. There is computers equipments being sold.
Well, I need a new GPU. Like my 1070 over here just, seems to be acting a little slow.
I mean,
probably need a new motherboard too anyway, but I mean, hell, I just need to replace the whole damn thing.
I might have some cheap equipment over here. Some of it new, some of it used.
Some of it just under new.
Yeah. No. Some of it's like brand motherboards brand new in the box, Because, like, Newegg would bundle these fucking things with a GPU because it was like, oh, we can't sell this, but you want this GPU, right? So I can give you a good deal on, like, a motherboard. Because, like, all the motherboards are all new in the box. And, and then we can figure out, you know, what GPU pricing you can afford.
Yeah, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, you know,
I got good used equipment for GPUs.
this thing could use a nice little upgrade, you know, some parts here and there for sure. You know.
John Jermaine, Asus Strix.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've got any Asus. I don't know. I have Asus Tough boards.
$200 CPU versus $800 new.
Yeah. So I've got Asus Tough boards. And I think for somebody like yourself, if you wanted to stay in the whole AMD family, I've got some like 6600 XTs that would probably be perfect. And then you could do AMD motherboard, AMD CPU, AMD GPU, and just have a complete AMD family going on the smorgasbord.
Man, this is almost as good as talking about car parts.
I know, right? I feel you, John Jermaine, that you're strictly NVIDIA. I feels you on the strictly NVIDIA. Now, if you're not mining and you're not hardcore gaming, I can't justify telling my man over here to get an NVIDIA GPU.
Yeah, no, my stuff's mostly for work anyway.
Right. I mean, and
streaming.
In a 6600 XT, like, it'll do great with like some workloads, some rendering workloads. So I mean, like, you'd be perfect. I mean, because like I'm willing to, like, kind of like looking at getting some like newer equipment. So like I'm definitely willing to fucking let go of some of my equipment.
That sounds amazing.
Because I have something in the pipelines.
What are you making? What kind of, you know, CPU, you know, are you building over there?
I'm not building a computer for myself right now. I like, for what I've got, I like what my computer. I mean, the only thing, I've only got one last upgrade path before I'm like at the end of the line for my computer. But that puts me into a CPU that is still, as old as it is, very relevant today. Just because, like, it's because I'm on the Threadripper line. So I'm at the DIY enthusiast workstation computer. So Threadrippers are all like your professionals. They're all workstations.
Okay.
The Threadripper that is for the commercial market, for like people like myself, it was like it was supposed to be able to be, it was like your enthusiast CPU. You can, like, it didn't have like huge overclock headroom on there, but you can put a GPU on there and overclock the snot out of it because it had enough headroom on the motherboard wise. As long as you had enough power going to that GPU, it would just like unleash the card on you.
Right.
Now, is it great for hardcore gaming, because I got an NVIDIA GPU, yes. If I was AMD on this system, I would see it wouldn't be like detrimental, but it could definitely see some issues. Where it's not even like I said, not even huge. It's just like you could see some performance lags, and you're like, oh man, it's
Yeah,
like
one of my performance lags that I hate the most is when like if I'm watching or so today I was going over like Google AdWords and advertising through Google, and like the videos just for some reason it just wanted to timer. I'm like refresh, get close shit out, refresh. Like it's not doing it right now. Like over on I'm watching the YouTube right now. It's doing just fine, but sometimes like if it's on a video hosting server or something like that, it'll just load forever. Take its sweet ass time.
Sometimes that kind of depends on the hard drive trying to interact with that program. If it's trying to update at the same time as trying to load it, and it's just kind of overloading with everything else you got going on with the computer at that particular moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of hiccups and slows down until it kind of works through all the little different processes. I mean, you're dealing with Gundy's older computer, so I mean, it's definitely starting to age out at this point, so does it mean that the hard drive is, unusable in there and you have to redo all of that? No. I mean, like
I doubt that.
You could sit there and swap that over, or you can just start new. You can start new and get to an M.2 for your actual main hard drive, and then have everything else onto the other hard drive for like your mass storage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this way you have a dedicated Windows boot that's separate from all of your storage. This way, if you ever have
one of the things that's been a real pain in my ass is, especially as Doge Lord was shutting down, was the drive that held all of the files for like the merchandise, like the logo, like the labels for the coffee, I can't access it unless I like tear it apart and reconnect shit, because like it's stopped connecting. Like I'm done. I have a drive in there that's just not syncing up.
Hopefully that doesn't mean that the motor died on it. That's usually indicative of a dying hard drive, and I've had to put them into the freezer to pull data off of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because that's the only way to keep the motor fucking cool enough so that it'll continue to spin so you can pull data.
Mm. Well, I believe this one's solid state. So.
Oh, then you just got a bad cable then.
Yeah. Either way, I gotta get in there and tinker.
And God knows how Gundy's wire mismanagement is. I let my brother do the back of my computer. I don't like to open it up anymore.
Well, one of the reasons that came up just now was because Savage's daughter reached out to me. Savage's grandkids are getting big, and his youngest one is no longer able to wear Papa's shirt. Like, he's outgrown it, So she was like, is the site still around? And I'm like, no, it's not. But if I can find the file, I'll send it to you and let you print it up yourself. So.
Right.
It's like, it's in there somewhere. But yeah. Need to back that HDD up. Yeah, or get new cables, something, new connectors.
Right. Something.
But yeah, this week was actually pretty fun because, you know, I'd get into the creative process, prompting and getting ideas and, making those ideas reality, you know, so people can visually see them and be moved by them. And that's the fun part for me. The technical part isn't as fun, but working inside the software, making workflows connect so emails get sent out when somebody submits their information, all that stuff is what I've been doing now since I left security.
Nice.
But yeah, the video editing is definitely my favorite part.
Yeah, for me it's been a whole lot of what time of year is it? That's right, it's planting time.
It's January. It is February 28th. It's the last day of the month.
Right. It's like, okay,
That
everybody.
means last Sunday was supposed to be Patreon Sunday.
Oh yeah. We'll have to do it this Sunday.
I guess so. I guess we're gonna have
Hey,
to.
everybody, what I want you to do, whatever your bad habit is, right? The 29th, the 30th, and 31st, I want you to quit.
Of next month.
I love that little meme where they're like it's like for everybody out there, it's like please don't smoke marijuana for the 29th, 28th, and 31st. It's like, are you kidding me? That is hilarious. I'm sure there's some fucking poor schlub out there going, all right, I won't do it on those 3 days. And it comes on to the first. Oh, well, I'm confused.
Northern says my pepper plants are starting to wake up from winter sleep. Nice.
Woo! I just got my huge yellow onions into the seeding tray, and they are sprouting. I don't know how many seeds I fucking put into this tray, but it was a small handful. So
you did put one seed per thing.
No. There's not these.
You bundled them.
It's just a big.
You're gonna have a warped onion with like.
No. You see,
globes.
okay. That tells me you don't know how to grow. You've never grown onions. So onions.
No,
are
I've grown carrots, and instead of putting one seed per thing,
right.
When I was young, I put like a couple of them, and I pulled out these monsters with like 3 legs.
So that's how I plant my carrots too, and then I thin them after when they start sprouting. What's nice about carrots and onions is because of how they grow, they don't tangle their roots together.
Mm-hmm.
So you can thin them really easily. Onions are actually kind of cool. If you got them in super loose soil, they'll kind of push each other out of the way.
Yeah.
And they'll grow. You can bunch them all together and they'll grow. I mean, if you want large onions, you gotta give them some shoulder room. But you can actually, when you're sprouting them, until they start actually putting the mass on to make a bulb, which it's not right away, you've got time to be able to just densely grow a whole bunch of them, and then you just pull them apart as you're planting them. I mean, I had onions that were like, they're baseball size or a little large, just a little larger than baseball size.
You know what we used to do with our onions to keep them for like 6 months?
Huh.
We would, so after we, harvested the onions and washed them, we'd cut the top off and drop the onion into like a pantyhose, tie it up, drop another onion in the pantyhose, tie it up, and just as you needed it, just cut, and your onion was there and ready. because they don't touch each other, and gravity is not like you know how fruit when it sits for too long, it kind of bruises.
Right.
There's no bruising on the onions, and they keep for a hell of a lot longer.
I find that as long as you're not exposing them to sunlight,
Mhm.
um, with too high of humidity, uh, you're typically pretty damn good. So this year, I'm kind of going all out. We've got a huge garden that we got planned again this year. This time it's going to be bigger because we're going to utilize a different space and have it spaced out more efficiently,
Okay.
and which will open up more growing area in the same area. So kind of cool. And I'm in my crawl space. I am going to convert a portion of my crawl space and turn it into a cellar.
Okay. Okay. I see
And
you.
and I'm gonna bring some wood chips down there. I'm gonna block off areas so that I'm not trying to humidity control all of underneath my house. It'll just be in a certain section of the house that I'll be doing a lot of the humidity control in there. Because you actually want a higher, it sounds counterintuitive, but like a 65% humidity is like right where you want your roots your root cellar to be at. 65 percent humidity and not cold, but just chilled.
Hmm.
And that'll give it to me right where I want to put it. It'll be right at ground level, so it'll be below ground level. The very top of it will be above ground. So I'm using the house to kind of buffer a little bit, plus the ground, and it's going to be perfect, and we should be able to store. I'm hoping, a complete winter's amount of fruits and vegetables.
Nice. Nice.
Because I'm gonna have I got strawberry plants coming. I'm so looking forward to that one. Oh yeah, the strawberries, and I'm so looking forward to the American elderberry I am hoping that I will get fruit this year from it.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, that'll be freaking amazing. I get fruit from it. Oh,
We had a so among all of our fruit trees that we had, one of my favorites growing up was our mulberry tree. Mulberry tree was some gnarly looking thing with these long ass vines, just coming down. And you just pluck these things and just, oh my God,
oh yeah,
so
we got
fucking
we
delicious.
got one right at the corner of the road. So if I want mulberries, I can just go. My neighbor I already told him, I'm like, I might fucking pick some of these fuckers. He's like, go for it. They hit the ground.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And birds love that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
You
and
got to
then
get the mulberries before the birds do.
and then I got my blueberries too. So yeah, I mean, like I'm set for the fruits. And then I've got, it's like, oh my God, the amount of veggies I'm going to be growing. Holy cow, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we had
Absolutely.
a orchard growing up. So we had apples, we had a pear tree, we had uh, peaches and nectarines, and we had wild cherries as well, and the mulberry tree.
I know there's
And
a
then we also had pecans and walnuts. You know, nobody did shit with the walnuts, but except throw them.
right.
Freaking size
I
of the baseballs.
I know that there's a style of apple tree that likes to grow up where I'm at, because
Mhm.
like it's got to be able to. The only time you got to pay attention to like what zone you live in, is if you've got to have a plant that's got to survive winter.
Mhm.
It's like you just got to make sure it's cold hardy enough to survive your climate.
Mhm.
So like they're like typically it's crab apples out here.
Yeah, I think we had crab apples as well.
But there is a couple of hybrid varieties that will grow in this climate now.
Mhm.
And I know one of them used to grow at my grandparents' old house. Fucking delicious apples, man. That thing never produced like hardly any apples until like one day, like a bunch of us just went up into the tree and picked every fucking apple off the tree. The next year, that fucking tree was like just covered in apples.
All of a sudden, you realize, oh, this is what you want? Okay, here you go.
Right? Fucking fresh apple pies and stuff after that. Oh, I can feel myself getting fat just thinking about it.
Oh God. We like a fresh apple, like casserole with the crumble on top. You know, it was like an apple pie, only rectangular, in a casserole dish.
Right, 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 right.
You know,
I'm
lots
not
of
sorry if
sugar
this is
and
making
brown
you
sugar.
all hungry, but y'all should be sitting there like trying to figure out how you can start growing your own food. If anything, if you can't grow your own food because you're like, oh, I'm in an apartment, or I live with somebody else and it's their place, and I'm like, fine, cool, find a fucking window and start growing your fresh herbs.
Yeah,
Y'all got no excuses.
I mean, they got freaking grow kits now. You can just have a garden tower and have some lights on it.
They're
It
talking
won't
about
be
feeding mRNA vaccines to the livestock now
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
because of the bird flu shit.
Well, I think I saw a there was a woman who was holding a dadgum newspaper, featuring Bill Gates, and it was like from 1991, talking about, you know, um, vaccinations and population control, and basically nobody thought anything of it back then, but here we are, and now he's saying things like, if we can control the population for 3 generations, it's like, I'm sorry. You-
See,
It,
he's a globalist and he thinks that everything in the world is finite. But he doesn't but he fails to realize by let's say we let the globalists do what they want, right? And they get their way and they drop the population, right? Let's
like
say
Thanos.
let's say arbitrarily they do 25% of the population they drop. So 1/4 of the population. They'd probably survive just fine. People would start getting a little overworked because there wouldn't be enough workers. Uh, but the world would move on. It's like not much further than that does society collapse because there's not enough people in the world to support all the infrastructures that is required to live day-to-day operations, and the world doesn't realize. I mean, a lot of people out there, they walk around with absolute blinders on and not realizing that there's a lot more to the world that you don't see. You got people like Gundy who works at data centers in the middle of the night doing upgrades, doing, hardware swaps, doing repairs, troubleshooting, where when the infrastructure is at its lowest usage point, he's going out there and fixing it. You can't be dropping the workforce because it's going to directly affect all different sectors. It's not going to be just one. Because, like, in order to go, oh, we need more people over here. Well, you've got to take resource, like video games should these people should play like one of those civilization style games, where you can only create so many people to do so many jobs before you're going, oh shit, I've actually came across my population cap and I can't produce any more people, but I need this done over here. Shit. Let me just take these guys from over there and put that there. Oh, fuck. I need those resources, but I need this built a little more. It's like you're going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because literally, if you're saying, I'm going to cap myself at this, at some point you're just shuffling chess pieces apart around trying to solve problems, and you're not really solving problems, you're chasing them.
I'm not gonna argue.
Right. I mean, no, the absolute logic is there. You cannot do a population drop. And like, I don't care about wealth or any of that stuff. I'm just talking functionality. You want efficiency? Yeah, try dropping population 35% and see what happens. Like, there will not be enough people to make society function properly. Japan is about to find out. Their economy, their growth rate is declining. In other words, Japan is aging out. If they keep on
No young people.
Right, and the young people that are there, they're leaving because there's no innovation to keep anybody there. So the only people that are there now are those who couldn't afford to leave, or people who couldn't see themselves living anywhere else because Japan was all they knew. You know, patriots, you know.
It's happening in many different places. That's why, like, if you do a search on YouTube, you know, countries that pay me to live there, you'll find quite a few results. And most of it is tied to, they want you to live there to either preserve the history or help the population grow because there's no young people anymore.
Right? And I mean, people don't even realize it. Like, I wish I knew some people directly in Germany to be able to, like, validate some of this stuff. But watching stuff like Motor Trend and stuff like that, like all these different automotive stuff, like, you go to Porsche, Audi, and BMW, because those areas, they have and Germany has an aging population too. So they're finding that older people are coming back into the workforce because they can't afford retirement. So what are they having to do? They've got these old assembly guys, or they've got these old guys that just need work, and they either, one, don't have the physical capability to do the work anymore, or they don't have the mental capability to be able to handle too many tasks at once. Not saying that they're stupid or retarded or anything like that, just, you know, they're, for whatever reason, you know, some people are just, hey, I can't handle doing more than 5 different things at once in a particular station. After 5 things, I forget some. And so they're trying to dial it into an aging population with full robotics, easy buttons to press. They're dumbing down their factories because their skill workers are the education level of their workforce is dropping. Because as the workforce gets older, you now have people with older knowledge sets. Not that they're dumb. Again, I'm not ripping on any of these people. It's just literally their knowledge set is the old way. What they want is the new way. But they've now got to compensate to grab the old way because that's the only workforce they've got left.
Yep.
It's kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up, I have to say.
I mean, you can't have a fully automated factory if nobody's there to repair the automated machines.
Right.
You gotta do it the old way.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's like, imagine just like having where I need to put together this Porsche 911 motor, but I've only got this 75-year-old grandpa, and he knows about the oh God, the Volkswagen thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got to teach him to put together a high performance race car, street legal race car now. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. And it's like, and it's not every country. It's just countries with their birth rate dropping, and believe it or not, that is a direct influence of economy. How good is their economy going? Because if an economy is doing bad, people aren't going to go out and celebrate, and we need more celebrations. Because celebration makes a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
I was drunk. Alcohol was a factor.
Oh, we got a bunch of FAs coming in.
Uh-oh.
Got a bunch of FAs coming in. I think it might be because our boy Crypto McHale got home.
Maybe.
But yeah, I just posted that link a little while ago. Like, there's the search. Nothing but videos of, countries and cities that will pay you to move there.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for an announcement. Yo.
Ooh.
DCA Adventure is rated F for fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Let's be honest, most people our age were accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom had 3 of those.
I'm pretty sure I was a birthday surprise. My dad got a birthday, got a surprise on his birthday, and then 9 months later, I showed up.
Right. And you got you have the Happy New Year's surprise.
Yeah, there's those as well. Yep.
You got the honeymoon surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I love my little surprises.
So we are at that 1 hour marker, fellas.
Are we really?
Yeah, I know. We're like right there.
Well, smash that like button. I only see 2 likes on the video.
I know.
Guys.
We got awesome people here, and you guys haven't smashed that lizard like button. What's up with that? What is up with that? I mean, the YouTube overlords are not happy with this.
Well, the YouTube overlords were never happy with us to begin with.
No, but they're especially not. I mean, thumbs up, thumbs down. We need interaction, damn it.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, damn it.
You should just share our videos and tell all your friends. Give these guys a thumbs down.
Oh,
Just
dude, man,
does.
I've gotten into arguments with people on there because they didn't like
back.
They didn't like my my content, so I went into troll mode, and I had them like, and they don't realize that every time they came back to the video, YouTube would count them as a view, and I pointed it out, and I'm like, dude, I've gotten you to act like 12 new views for me for a conversation I don't care about. Because
for a conversation that has 0 impact in my life, you guys just keep on coming back for it.
Right. I'm like, you're getting trolled hard, and I don't know if you're smart enough to figure that out yet. But this is number 12, and I'm thinking it's kind of pathetic at this point. Just because they want to rag on me for being a GPU miner. It's like, fuck off, dude. Get over it. Nobody told you to watch my video.
Like the pirate's like, if you want to save power, just turn it off.
Right? It's act like it's Tinderbox and swipe.
All right. So what is happening tomorrow? Do we know what's on the schedule tomorrow, Brian?
I'm thinking that Mikkel is gonna be Mikkel just got home, so I'm figuring Mikkel might be live streaming in the morning, depending on how he feels. I know that that mofo is an early riser, so depends on how what's all going on at the house. Followed up by Serpent, and then I believe we got Rabid mining, and then Red Panda possibly.
I saw Red Panda post something just earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think he's back. I'm not sure. So I thought he went on vacation or something like that. I know he did a big like YouTube giveaway. I don't know. I to be honest, I haven't been like keeping up with all the YouTubers out there in the last like couple of weeks, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Just because like I've been in garden mode, trying to get everything prepped for my garden, so everything has just been kind of on that right now. And then I'm trying. It's like, and then I'm thinking I will go live myself on my channel, because I was planning on going live today on my channel. Got tied up with a whole bunch of different stuff. Didn't happen. I had full intentions of it happening, but it didn't happen. So I'll probably do a live stream in the afternoon on crypto and hot rods. Do a free hash giveaway. Ooh.
And about how many, what are the chances of somebody winning if they show up?
Well, my best turnout, I think, was like a 9-1 odds.
9-1 odds.
Yeah.
To get some free hash rate. Guys, you should totally go and look.
I've had 3-1 odds. I've had 3-1 odds.
And Tech Man won every time.
He's won a good portion. And between him and my man over there, Rude, my dude. It's like Tech Man and Rude. They win a lot. They're winners. The universal
you don't win
winners
if you don't
code.
show up, and they show up all the time.
I know, and they're always got their name in their hat in the ring, and they win, dude. And it's like you would say it's rigged, but it's just that they've lost.
It's hard to say rigged when only 3 people show up.
Right, and it's like they've lost. Like, people don't want to admit it how many times they've lost.
I hear you. Or
right.
Not so many times that they lost, but just how many times that they weren't picked to win.
I know. Well, that's
because they didn't have anything invested to lose.
No. You still lost. You lost the opportunity.
By not showing up, yeah.
Right. You lost the opportunity if you don't show up. You lost the opportunity if you're not picked. I mean, the opportunity is lost. What you invest is opportunities. Hell no.
And on that note, guys, I think it's time we got out of here. Why don't you sign us off, Brian?
Hell yeah. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Yo. With that being said, peace out. Stay savage. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And stay motherfucking F.A.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.